And the parts of you literally embedded in your biology are energetic receivers for the broadcast information that is broadcasting those fear scripts, anger scripts, hatred scripts right into everybody's biofield. So energetically, the best thing that we can do is regenerate our own body so that we wouldn't have any receivers for those messages anymore. Now, when anybody tries to do things like past life healing, inner child healing, shadow work, all that business. And I wrote a book on shadow integration because I do these kind of things that I name shit because I want to change the way we perceive those things. Because usually shadow work entails going deep into the dark night of the soul and immersing yourself in the negativity in order for you to clear it. Now that is that's a stage, that's a mirroring stage when it's a psychological warfare technique when you empathize, you feign empathy with the bad, but you're still feeding the bad. That empathy level is not capable of solving the issue. Empathy means feeling as. Compassion is feeling with. Empathy is that if you break your leg, I'm going to break my leg just so I get to feel exactly the way you are feeling. None of us is getting any help. None of us is getting any better. We're just two broken people. Compassion looks at your situation, understands, grasps where you're coming from, and provides an extra additional amount of energy so that you get to be surrounded by more than what you are, and you can grow into that more state. So you get to literally expand out of those contracted states of fear, anger, sadness, broken legs. It was a massive help for me to understand that every single time something like that finds me, fear, doubt, loneliness, scarcity, any of those emotions, instead of engaging with it, the best thing that I can do is find an expanded version of myself, a larger, bigger, more relaxed sense of self, and gradually grow into that self so that I would internally transmute those energies. I would add, literally, if you imagine yourself as a scared animal or a very scared child inside you, the best way to help them is not to tell them what's wrong with you. If you are at the bottom of a pit and somebody is throwing you a rope and they are like, I'm sure you've got enough energy to climb up and pull yourself up, honey. Here's a rope. That's how you climb up, idiot. That's what we're doing when we're giving advice. This is what you should be doing. This is how you should sort out your life. It's not emotionally helpful. Instead, we can get that rope down, climb down, embrace that little broken being, get back up together so that we have all become more. It's a win-win-win situation for all of us. That's how we heal any traumatic imprint, that we don't annihilate, we don't get angry at it, that fuck, I'm feeling broken again. This has come back again and again. I thought that we've solved this already. Jesus, not again. Those are not helpful. If you find empathy, even within yourself, yes, this is happening, this is how I'm feeling, and expanded that. But at the same time, I know that those feelings are not inherently mine. I did not generate any of those feelings. then you give yourself an expanded sense of self, how you can grow without losing anything. It is like an angry, hurt, barking dog that is ready to bite because you've been feeding that emotion, or you've been surrounding that emotion or issue or physical pain or anything. I'm going to call it pain because that's the quickest. You have been treating that pain with so much disrespect, so much unkindness. You've been trying to suppress, neglect, circumvent that pain so much. I shouldn't be feeling this way. I shouldn't have this problem. What is wrong with me for feeling this pain? That pain has a consciousness. If you keep beating that dog, it will keep biting you. So first, we have to unguard and you don't go into a fight armed. If you have to arm yourself, it means that you can be hurt. You don't go into a fight instigating that fight because it means that you want to fight. You can just stand there, stand your ground, rooted in source, connected to source, and just be there as long as it takes. And as soon as that dog stops barking at you, now you can establish a relationship. Now you have a base for healing. Anything that when you try to patch something, when you put a Band-Aid on a festering wound, just because you can't see the surface of it, it doesn't mean that the very bottom is not getting infested. That's what we've been doing frequency-wise. That's why you run into the same people with different faces. That's why you keep repeating addictive cycles. That's why we keep running into the same trigger points, because we don't address the very cause of the issue. And the very cause of the issue is that they're not originating from source. So when you find your connection to source first and you communicate with your pain from that standpoint, that's what's going to bring you the true healing, the absolute healing, because source is coming from such a sense of peace, safety, love, absolute grandiose giving. Source doesn't take anything because it doesn't need anything. And that's what your pain is looking for. Someone who's just willing to give instead of taking. If it needs a lot of time, it needs a lot of time. And source would give it 950 billion years. Honey, if that's how long you take, that's how long you take. I'm here. I stand my ground. You can trust me.